Why love superficially when we can go from hello to epitome, manifesting destinies? Hello, Libra. Welcome to your, oh gosh, why was I about to say November? That's weird. Okay. Welcome to your September love reading. What's up with you in November? Are you excited about Thanksgiving? I know I am. I love food like all day. Whew. Now I'm going to be thinking about food. Oh man. Okay. We're going to stop it. We're not going to do that. We're not doing that. Okay. So anyway, Libra, welcome to your September love reading. We're doing things the same but slightly different. For my old subscribers, you guys know that I got a new love deck and I was like picking 2 cards for everybody. But now I'm going to use the Whispers of Love deck as an overall energy for the month. But we're still going to do our same old 3 cards for you guys, Libras, and the next 3 cards for your cross watcher. How we always do. So we're going to do 3 cards for each of you guys and then your overall energy. So while I'm getting this together and whatnot, you are more than welcome to set your intentions for this reading or think about that lovey-dovey person that you know you're watching this read for. Cross watcher or Libra. So we got 1 for you, 1 for you. And then 1 for them, 1 for them. Okay, and then we have you guys' overall energy with the Whispers of Love. I had to say it like that because it sounds like a romance novel. Whispers of Love. That's so corny. All right, Spirit, let me get 1. Okay, y'all are gonna get 2 because when I was trying to put that together, that one was sticking straight up. All right. So, Merry Christmas, Libra. Merry November. And hey, people out there named Mary. All right. Let's get these out of the way. Okay, so let's see what you guys' overall energy is. Let me straighten these up so I have some room. The first one that was sticking straight, oh, goodness. That is the card that I had for, who is that I just did? Virgo. That's the one that was sticking straight up. Be in the present and dream of the future. When we dream, everything is possible. The next one is like attracts like. If you are longing for more love in your life, you need to be more loving. I'm laughing because this usually happens with my readings. Like there's usually like a theme that everybody has going on, and I noticed that this month it's like these are love readings. That is my intention that I'm setting, but it's like it's a lot of personal development stuff that's coming in. So like every read I've done up to this point, and y'all are like, what? And first of all, let's talk about the fact that Aquarius bumped y'all out the water. How y'all let that happen, Libra? What is really going on? Okay, I mean, I put the reading up like 7 days ago. But Aquarius, who's usually the last person I read for, beat out everybody with Pisces. I'm not mad, you know. It's a mid-month, but you know. Come on. Y'all down the list. Anyway. But everyone else that I read for before you guys, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 signs before you. It's been this theme where I'm sitting here like, this is a love reading. Why does it sound like a general? But it very much relates to like this like attract like thing, because it's this theme of like being who it is that you're looking for. And that's why that personal development element is coming in, because it's doing that work to be who you're looking for, you know, law of attraction, love type stuff. So anyway, your present energy is the 2 of Wands. Your past influence is the Fool. Interesting. And going forward, you guys have the 9 of Swords. Battling those mental demons and things and what's not, or whatever. So, what I see for you guys is in the recent past, with the Fool, it's as if this fresh new energy has come in that's offered you guys a new beginning. It could also be you guys kind of taking a risk. So for some of you, that may be either taking a chance on a new person, right? Like a new relationship, like, or, you know, how do I want to say that? It's like dating like a person. I'm trying to tread lightly when I say this because I don't want it to be politically incorrect, but it's like dating a person that you've never dated before, right? So that's like, okay, say if, okay, you've never been in an interracial relationship and this is the first time you ever dated someone like outside of your race, right? So it was kind of like, you know, seeing where this goes, because, you know, I've never dated someone like this. Or if you dated someone younger or dated someone older, you know what I mean? Someone who is different from you, that's not your usual type, right? So I see you guys kind of taking a new beginning with someone. And for some of you, it's just like a complete life change. And I feel like a move. You know what I mean? It's like a movement. So it may, for some of you, it may be like a physical kind of movement, and in a sense of you guys kind of making a decision to choose yourself. Oh, okay. So like if you're a person that was like, I'm not being mean when I say this, I promise. If you were kind of like a relationship addict, not in like an obsessive kind of sense, but like you've never not been in a relationship, like you've never not had a boyfriend, or you've wow, that's a double negative out of the wazoo. We're going with it. You've never not had a boyfriend, or you've never not had a girlfriend. Like you've always been in relationships as far back as you can remember. For some of you, I see this as you kind of taking a chance to explore what the single life is like, right? And it's kind of going on that journey. So, and it may be some of you who actually have physically moved. So maybe you were in a relationship with a person and you physically moved like to another city. And you're kind of exploring your path as a single person for the first time. And I kind of feel like this whole thing of like, I don't know, like fresh eyes and like a fresh new perspective, like seeing everything differently because you've never been single. So it's like experiencing life for the first time as a single person. So it's kind of like, wow, you know, I've never, you know, done whatever. I've never, you know, I don't know what people in relationships do. What are things that people in relationships do, like when you have a relationship? That lets you know I've been single for like ever. God, what do people do that are in relationships? Like, and I'm thinking about something where this person's like there on some stuff, like something you can't do without them being there. I don't know. I can't think of anything. Okay. I'm relationship ignorant. But, whatever it is that people who are in relationships do together, you're doing that stuff by yourself, and you're realizing like a whole different perspective because you're able to kind of like release the fullness of yourself and not modify. Because it's like not needing to compromise in a healthy sense, like not saying that you shouldn't compromise in relationships, but not compromising in a healthy sense, meaning like when you decide you want to go to dinner, like you don't have to be like, oh, you know, I want Mexican, but I know they don't like Mexican, so what else can I settle for? It's just the fact that whatever you set your mind to, you can kind of do it without needing to, you know, kind of check with someone else, right? So it's kind of like, you know, being the captain of your own ship on some stuff, right? So, but the thing that I do see going forward is that you guys, like with the Nine of Swords, it's like it's like the codependency comes creeping back up at you, and it makes you start to question, did I make the right decision? Should I have really left? Is that really what I wanted to do? Like that kind of deal. And that's something that I feel heavily, right? That you're going to have to like face head on. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, okay, because you, and this is not all Libras, but whoever resonates with this, disclaimer, but it's like, if you're the person who's habitually been in relationship after relationship after relationship, and this is your first time single, it's like you feeling this anxiousness of like being by yourself. It's like, you know, that's being triggered because the initial wound that caused you to feel not confident in relationships, like that's something that spirit is bringing to the forefront for you to finally battle that. And by battling it, it means getting to the root of the problem. Like, what caused this? Why is it that now, that I've gotten bored or I've done all of the stuff that I wanted to do that I'm instantly like, oh my gosh, I'm lonely? Like, what is it in you that feels like you need to be with someone, or you have to be with someone, or that you only, what's the word I'm looking for? Relate or correlate happiness with being with someone? Because it's like, I kind of get the vibe like this person or people I'm talking about, it's like you are probably living your dreams right now. It's like whatever move that you made, it's like you're in a place to where opportunities abound. You know what I mean? Like, you may have like gotten the job of your dreams, or you have like or you got promoted or something like that, and you may be like really young for your age, like in this particular company or this position. So it's like the world is kind of like your oyster, and you have like umpteen opportunities of stuff, but it's like at nighttime, it's like you're plagued by these thoughts of like, even though like a person from the outside looking in would feel like your life is like magnanimous, you're kind of like questioning if you did the right thing, because you left someone behind, or you decided not to marry someone, or like something like that. It's something relating to the whole relationship thing. And the reason why all of this stuff is coming to the surface is because it's something that you need to face, right? Now, for some of the other Libras, where it's not that you've been consistently in relationships, it may be that you have for the other group of Libras I was talking about, like maybe your life has always looked like that, and you've been afraid to commit to people. You know what I mean? It's like you never really wanted to take that plunge, and you may have the opportunity now where there's somebody who wants to be with you and you really dig them. You know what I mean? And you can potentially see a future with them, but that scares the living bejesus out of you. It's like, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. You're getting too close. You're trying to know too much of my business. I don't know about this. Hold up, pump your brakes, right? So it's making you feel hella anxious at the fact that this person wants a future with you. Now, don't get me wrong. You like them. You think they're dope. But it's like you're freaking terrified of commitment, right? Because for this group of Libras, like I see you guys as like very adventurous kind of people, like, very business-like and entrepreneurial. Like, you listen to motivational speakers in the morning, you may have jumped out of a plane or two, you like zip lining and riding the little dirt bike things and four-wheelers and stuff. Like a person who travels a lot, wants to explore the world. Like, you're a person who lives life to the fullest. You know what I mean? And, you may get up and move to different cities here and there. You're never in a place for too long, but you do feel a connection with this person. But it's, oh man, it's almost like you're looking at commitment like a ball and chain. It's just like, I like them, but, And for you guys, that's causing anxiety. But the demon that you have to slay, the proverbial demon that you have to slay, not saying you guys are going to be doing, casting out demons and exorcisms and things of the sort, but is why you're so afraid to put roots down. My battery's dying. But why you're so afraid to put roots down, like what is it that you're really running from? You know what I mean? So whether you're single or you're in a relationship, and even like for those of you who, like how I said in the beginning, you're dating someone who's older than you or younger than you, or someone who's from a different, race than you, or ethnicity, cultural background, what have you, socioeconomic status, I don't know. Somebody that's different than you. You know what I mean? Or maybe this is your first relationship. Maybe you're just recently like coming out as gay, right? And this is like your first open relationship that you're telling people about. But it's just this level of reluctance that I feel, where it's like, you know what you want, you know what you want to do, you know that you feel this. And I think for the people who are dating the people who are different from them, the reluctance is because you're anxious and so concerned about what everyone else is going to think. And the thing that Spirit is letting you guys know is like, hey, if you resonate with this, you feel like this is for you, You know what I'm saying? And this is something that you've constantly come up with. So whether it's that you fear not being in a relationship, you fear being in a relationship, or you fear being with someone that is different, it's time for you to face that head on and to kind of silence the demon, like getting to the root of what is it that you're really afraid of, or what is that perceived rejection really saying about you or to you about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All that good stuff. Just saying, this could be the one. Do, do, do. Okay, I have no idea what that is. Totally not a song. If it was, it'd be a horrible one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Oh my gosh. Oh. So, for those of you who are terrified of the person that's in your life, or for those of you who are dating a person that's different than you, and you're worried about some stuff, this could be the one. Dag nabbit son of a gun, Libra. You done it. You done it. You done it. Yeah, you done it. You done it. Okay. So anywho, you guys then like to track like yourself. And I do feel like I need to say what I've said in the previous readings that this card has come up in, is that whatever it is that you guys are trying to change, which would be slaying your demon, your power only exists in the present, not in the past, not in the future, right? When you dream about what it is that you want to see manifest in your future, your power to get there only exists in the now, okay? So anxiety is a key sign that you are worrying about the future. So it's things that have not happened. Now, how does self-fulfilling prophecy happen? It happens by you worrying about things that have not happened yet. And you ultimately create them yourself, because your present is what creates your future. And presently, you're worrying about something that never happened and probably may never happen, but you inadvertently cause it because you're putting so much energy to it in the present with the power that you have in the present and not creating the future that you want. Just throwing that out there. On to your cross watcher. Their present energy is the Four of Swords. Past influence is the Strength card, so this could be a Leo person. Interesting. Going forward for them, we have the Four of Pentacles. Very interesting. So what I see for the cross watcher person is that presently they're kind of taking a break. So first feeling that I feel is that this is the person that my first group of Libras, this may be the person, well, I'm feeling that it is. The person that first group of Libras who have always been in a relationship, I'm feeling this is the person that you've left behind, right? And I feel like they had to find a great deal of strength within themselves to try to get over this. Because, I mean, you guys may have been together, like it may not have been Libra being in relationship after relationship, but you guys may have been together for a rather long time. And this person really had to find the strength to try to get over this because they couldn't quite understand why it is that Libra needed to cut ties with them. So for those of you that are dealing with Libras who have moved, to another state and you guys kind of broke up because they didn't want to do a long distance thing or whatever, the thing I can tell you as a consolation is that sometimes when we love people, we want what's best for them. And sometimes what's best for them is not always to be with us, and that sucks because we want it to be that way. You know what I mean? But sometimes that's not always in a person's best interest. And I'm saying this lightly because I'm not saying this applies to every single person, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna find somebody in the comments that's gonna be like, no, Libra was a jerk. Girl, you need to celebrate that Libra is gone, girl. Throw a party. I'm gonna come. Anyway. But in the event that I'm saying, like, if this is someone that you guys were with and they kind of, what's that song? My ex used to always sing this. It's a song by Donnell Jones, Where I Want to Be. And when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel bad. And now that I want to leave, she's crying her heart to me. Why should you let this be? I just need time to see where I want to be. Listen to that song. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like this person, this Libra needed to find out who they are because they've only known their identity in relation to someone else. So it's new territory for them to get to know themselves. And I mean, not saying like whether or not you guys will get back together, whatever, we're not going that far into it, but looking at it in the sense of if you would ever want this person to come back to you, you should want them to come back to you as a whole person, not half of a person, and them only knowing themselves with you. So I feel like for you as well as for them, this is a time for you guys to get to know yourselves on an individual level and to be your best self, whether the two of you come back together or not, right? So I'm kind of feeling like with this cross watcher, they had to find a level of strength within themselves. And there may be a little depression going on where family and friends may be kind of concerned about you because you've kind of retreated. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want to hang out. You're not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And if it's very, very serious to where you feel like you're in a deep depression, you know what I'm going to say. Go on Psychology Today and find your local neighborhood therapist, dagnabbit son of a gun, because we're not doing that. It's like once your habits start to change to the point to where it's like you feel like just getting out of bed is too much, that's when you want to reach out for help and assistance from someone else. So throwing that out there, boo thing. But other than that, I just sense like you've kind of isolated yourself from a lot of people in your life, and people around you are starting to notice that something is wrong. And I know it's because you're grieving this relationship, right? But the thing that I see in your recent future that I feel is kind of like a forewarning is that you trying to move on, and it's kind of like potentially because wow, that's interesting. That's 2 4s. 4 and 4 is 8. And the strength card is an 8. That's very interesting. And then 8 and 8, of course, is 16, and that's 7. Interesting. It's very interesting. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna say it like this. This is an opportunity for you. It's kind of like one of those times where spirit opens up like a portal to fast track your healing process, but it's like something you have to get into alignment with. So it's like if you resonate with this, the forewarning is the fact that if you don't acknowledge this, you could potentially go forward into the future very closed off and bitter. You know what I mean? Because I mean, and not saying that bitter like a jerk person, but I mean being bitter because you've been wounded. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like closing yourself off and not letting other people in, and meaning that in a present sense. But as we practice things in the present, we slowly start to carry them into the future. So every minute that we're depressed presently, right now, today, right? That becomes the future. Because literally right now, what I'm doing right now, if I'm feeling happy right now, and the next 5 minutes I'm still feeling happy, I bought this present emotion into my future. You see what I'm saying? So as time starts to progress, this depression will grow and morph and change, and it could morph into bitterness if you don't stop it. So I feel like while you're cross-watching this reading is because Spirit wants you to know that Spirit does not want you to end up like this, holding on to past pain to the death of you, not your literal death, proverbial death here, people, you know? Because what that ultimately does, it blocks off your heart from you loving others and allowing other people to love you. And that ultimately closes off your connection with Spirit, which leaves us all lost in life. When we lose our connection with Spirit, it's like we are walking around blind, like trying to feel things, and things stop making sense. And I do not want to see your life go into that spiral, right? So the most important thing to do is here is, yes, if you do feel like you need time to grieve, that's of utmost importance. Because if you've been with the Libra for this long, it's understandable. Well, not just Libras, but anybody. So that's, of course, understandable. But it's imperative that you do your own healing work so you don't allow this temporary situation, even though it's very devastating and heartbreaking, to alter the course of your future. Sorry, Libra. But you never want to give another person this much power over your life. If this Libra person chose to leave and choose themselves and figure out their path in life, you owe yourself that same due diligence. You need to choose you. That's what's very important right now. So the oracle card that you have is religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. This is very interesting. So this is kind of bringing me back to scenario number sort of kind of 1, but then I stopped and then it went to like 3. So this is for those of you who are dating someone who is different than you in some way. And I don't think I mentioned religious factors, but it may totally be religious factors. Maybe one of you is an atheist and the other one's a Christian. Maybe somebody's a Muslim. Maybe someone's a Christian. Maybe somebody's a Wiccan and somebody's a Christian. That would be interesting. But whatever your religious beliefs are, there is a difference. So with that whole scenario that I gave of whether it's somebody who's like of a different ethnicity or race or what have you, age difference or whatever, for some of you guys, this is your cross watcher. So it may be either a traditional upbringing, or it could even be a mind frame. I mean, it could be that one of you is more traditional and another one of you is more progressive, which is kind of funny because that makes me think about the jumping out of planes Libra. You know, that you're a person where you're very progressive and this person may be a little more streamlined, you know, more traditional. I honestly look at this card like the Hierophant. So it could be a Taurus person too. But that is like the main thing with this person being the one for you. But the thing that I'm kind of seeing with you guys, and I really do sense that it's important that you guys have a conversation, because the vibe that I'm kind of getting is I feel like there may be a point of contention between the two of you because you're not understanding each other. And I kind of feel like it's because you're saying the same thing, but your methods of communication are different. Or maybe it's just that you don't necessarily understand each other because of your cultural differences, right? And I'm saying cultural, not meaning like, you know, like ethnicity, but cultural meaning, you know, like a socioeconomic status could in essence be a culture. You know what I mean? So it's like your cultural differences because you guys are kind of coming from two different worlds. So I feel like in a sense, the two of you have a connection and you're very much alike. But I think right now there's a difficulty in the two of you seeing that because you're saying the same thing in different ways. So usually when people find themselves in situations like that, you want to have a mediator, which is an unbiased third party. I'm sorry, I tell everybody to go to counseling. Find you a nice little counselor that does mediation counseling. Well, not counseling, but just does mediation. It's not really counseling. It's just you get to go in there, tell both sides of the story, and they're going to be like, yo, you're wrong. Right? It's always fun. But anywho, or if it's someone that you guys trust, that you feel like can be an unbiased party with kind of hearing things out. But it's like, I feel like in essence, like in soul, not going as far as saying twin flames and all that, but I feel like you guys are resonating on the same frequency. So y'all are on the same level. It's just the way that it's manifesting is very different. And I feel like that's causing some conflict. It's causing my Librans to kind of stay up at night and figure out, like, is this person really right for me? Like, are they trying to hurt me on some stuff, you know? And this person is like, they're trying to be balanced about it, but they're feeling like they kind of need to take a pump the brakes from you because you're kind of getting on their nerves right now. You know what I'm saying? And, but it's like, I do feel like there's a part of them that's holding on because they recognize and acknowledge this connection. And I'm telling y'all that it's here, but it's just the fact that, it's you, how you guys were brought up in your conditioning that needs to be respected by both of you. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like is the cause of this contention, not the fact that this person isn't right for you. So I'm going to throw the dice of resonance since we're doggone near 30 minutes now. Of course, Libra's reading would be long. I love you guys. Y'all are so awesome. Libra. I am making horrible songs tonight, okay? For my new subbies, the dice of resonance are just something that I throw because, you know, these are general readings. So sometimes you're kind of like, that sounds like me, that sounds like me. So usually, if you were kind of on the fence, when I throw these, it gives you resonance through dice. Dice of resonance. I didn't name them. My subby did it. I'm still trying to figure out what the name is. Okay, I have Capricorn, Leo, and Moon. Get the freak out of here. So Capricorn, Libra, Moon. So that means that this person can be a Leo moon, or they can be a Capricorn moon, or it could be something about a Capricorn, Leo, whatever the case may be. But I know that I said this person may be a Leo. So, you know, this ain't my reading, but I feel like it is a Libra sun person and a Capricorn moon person. But I have no horse in this race. And my Dr. Phil voice, I can't imitate Dr. Phil. But anyway, that's been your September love reading, Libra. It has been a pleasure. I love your face, and I will see you later this month. Deuces. Why love superficially? We can go from